love to bring you out to that this coming Saturday, 3 to 6. And then our next way we can serve and love our community is going to be through our car care clinic. This is going to be on Saturday, November 15th. And if you're good with a car, if you know how to change the oil, if you know how to check fluid levels, if you know how to look at an engine, first, once you know, I'm impressed because I don't know how to do any of that kind of stuff. I'm useless. When it comes to fixing a car, I'm about as useless as a piece of celery. But I know many of you in here have that skill. You know what you're doing. You can pop the hood. You know what you're looking at. And we've partnered and talked. We reached out to a ministry in town called Step by Step. They're a ministry that reaches out and cares for single moms. And there's several of them that are in need and could really use someone being able just to look at their car, change the oil if necessary, and make sure their car is prepared and ready for the winter months ahead. So if you know how to do that, we could use your help Saturday, November 15th from 11 to 1. And we'll open up the gym. We'll make sure it's warm. We'll have some snacks and some games in there so moms and kids can come in and play and relax while their car gets looked at and gets ready for the winter months ahead. But if either one of those sound like something you'd want to be a part of, let me know. We need 3 or 4 more volunteers for this coming Saturday. And with the more people we have helping us out with the car care clinic, the more cars and families we can serve that day. So just let me know if either one of those sounds fun to you. And as I said, I'm not really good. I can't fix a car to save my life. But the idea of getting to play with and create a place that's fun for families and kids to be a part of, that's something I have a little bit of experience with. Back when I was in college, back in the summer of 2008, I got to spend one summer working at this big Christian sports camp out in Missouri. And kids would come there. We took care of teenagers. My main job was 13 and 14-year-old boys. And we would play sports all day. There was a wide variety of activities and skills that boys could learn. And then every evening, we'd go to a big worship session. So you got to play sports, got to learn a few things, and you got to learn about Jesus. It was a fun way to spend a summer. And I remember being there. I was about 19, 20 years old. We were taking care of teenage boys, and we were around them all day. And the boys actually stayed there for a few weeks. So we called ourselves, myself and other counselors, we referred to ourselves as FITs, meaning Fathers in Training. Because we were around these kids all day, we got to sort of see what kind of dads we might be, maybe things we needed to work on. Some of the counselors were definitely a little too strict and hard on the boys. Some of us were probably a little too lenient and bent too many rules for them. But it was a good experience for the kids. It was good for us as college students to be given some responsibility with them. But one thing I remember that was hilarious about teenage boys, and if you think back, and I think many of us can relate to this, you just might have forgotten about it. Teenagers, throughout the day, they were just hanging out with boys with boys, girls with girls, playing sports, doing all kinds of things. At night, when we would go to the combined worship session, boys and girls were together. That was the one time of the day they saw each other. Man, on the boys' side of things, that was a big deal. The girls are going to be there. And so I remember that was the only time of the day where I could easily get my boys to go take a shower because they knew the girls are going to be there. I need to look my best. And they would crack me up